I don't know. What do you want to hear?
I want to hear your story. I want to be able to educate people on the realities of what it's like to be unhoused and on the streets.
Let me go from the very beginning and make it a real short story for you. Born in 1962, very bow-legged. I used to wear baby shoes with braces across to keep my legs straight. My mother don't think I remember this, but it's amazing the things you remember when you're a child. My family owned a barber college. We wasn't rich, but it was a trade for us, you know. When I was 11 years old, I started cutting hair. By the time I was 16, I could have been a licensed barber instructor, but my uncle called the people and told them that he didn't want me to have my license because he didn't like it. I didn't learn how to read until I was about 25 years old because I couldn't get the concept. I didn't understand it. And it wasn't until one day when I was in jail, I heard this voice in my head that said, read the Bible. But I couldn't read. And just so happened that same day, a minister came through and gave me an easy to read Bible.
Wow.
And I stood up for 3 months. And I read from Genesis to Revelation in 3 months. Never understanding anything. And I'm getting to a point. And when I got through, I went out of the day room and there was a Muslim and a Christian talking, okay? And they were like, there's never a man on the face of this earth that has never seen all men. I said, well, wait a minute. I said, who was it? It was one of the prophets, Samuel. Mother gave him to the priest when he was 8 days old, okay? And I said, well, he had, and I literally got cussed out. So it's like the beginning of my life has just been one mistake after another, and I could never figure out why. But then I got married, and life started getting good. You know, I was happy and everything, and then my wife got breast cancer, and then they told her that they were going to have to amputate her breast, and that came home from work one day and she was gone. Because
Oh.
no matter how much I told her I loved her and I wanted to be there with her, she couldn't accept that. And then like everything just started going downhill since then. I've had so much in life, but I didn't know how to cherish it. What I mean by cherishing is to share, to give. You know, I didn't know how to be that kind of person. Even though I had read the Bible, I didn't understand it. It's not until now that I understand it. And I feel like I'm going through some things now to make my life better in the future. Living on the streets is, like I said when you came up, I'm tired. You can't sleep at night. You got people walking around you all night, one eye open, one eye closed. I can't go down to the Salvation Army and all like that because it's just frustration. You know, so much chaos, so much havoc. So many people have been found dead down there in the last 3 weeks. And I'm not talking about heat strokes either. It's bad out here. So that's why I say to myself and I try to watch myself all the time. The good part about that is I make friends with good people. People here at the water garden. People at the Army Theater. My deal is now trying to put in applications to get a job. The problem with that is when you don't have a cell phone, because it got stolen, when you don't have an address, because they don't want to hear about you living in the mission or anything else, it's hard to get a job. So you go to the labor companies, okay? And they have their favorites. I make it out one time a week. That doesn't work. So you end up, so you don't go hungry, down sausage and crackers. You literally have to ask people for help. And it's embarrassing, it's degrading. It really is, because I'm not used to it. You know what I'm saying? But God is so good. He makes a way. He always makes a way. I'm very disappointed. I want to send myself. I want to blame other people, but I can't. You know what I'm saying? We
Mm-hmm.
always want to put that blame on somebody else, but I have to look at me. And I think that's why I'm in this situation. Have I always made the right choices and decisions? No, I haven't. Do I want a better life? Will I fight to get a better life? Yes. I'll do almost whatever it takes, except for going out and selling drugs and doing. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. again, I believe this is a learning process for me. You know, I just need that one leg up to get out of this situation. I have no animosity to anybody. I have no hate for anybody. People look at me like I'm at the bottom of the toilet. But I know I'm not. I know I'm better than that. You know what I'm saying? It's just being in a situation where you can prove it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, this is kind of where I am right now.
If you had that one leg up, what would it be?
To be able to support myself, and after I get a stable foundation, to be able to help others who are out here in my situation to come up and do the same thing. Because I know this may sound crazy, and a lot of people don't understand it. The best way you can help somebody is by being in that situation because you understand. Because a person who's never been in this situation, they really don't understand. They really, really don't understand. They think that we're begging. They think that we're bombing. It's not what it is. You ever been down on Lancaster?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay, we talked. So
I think we met on Lancaster, didn't we?
We did.
Years
We did,
ago.
Years ago, back when it was halfway decent.
Yeah, back when I was curb sitting and talking to people.
There you go. Now it is ruthless. It is so bad to where you go down there during the day and you see females and males standing in front of a water fountain, totally naked, taking a shower in broad daylight. Do you know how sad that is to see somebody do that? I mean,
I watched some of you guys do it over here in the water gardens in the trough.
Well, at least we try to wait till nighttime, you know what I'm saying?
But it was that I was telling you yesterday about the Sunday morning when the church people grabbed their kids and walked away around us. But some of you guys were using the water trough with bars of soap and wash rags, and I just couldn't imagine.
I hate to say it. I will not get in the water.
Yeah.
But I will do that. I try to use the train station restroom, and that's what I got to say about today. I was trying to use the Mission, right up on First Street. That didn't work out well. But I'll use rag. I keep soap. I keep my rag. I try to keep clean clothes, and I'll wash off without getting in the water. And at least you're clean. 5 minutes later, you're right back sweating again, and it's just a constant. It's like a constant turmoil. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it seems like there's no way out, but you know there is. You're just waiting. My leg up would be just that, to be able to support myself.
What would it take to be able to support yourself? Obviously, a job.
That's the main thing. A job. Look, I'm a Class A CDL driver. My CDL's up to date. My DOT system is good for another year. But I can't get behind the wheel of this truck right now. I would need at least 3 days of rest. Because if I was to get behind the wheel of the truck right now, as tired as I am, I'd hurt somebody. And my driving life is immaculate. I've never had an accident. I've never had nothing. And I've been driving for years. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my situations. The last company I worked for went out of business. You know what I'm saying? When that happened, my car went down, trying to find a job. And you know for yourself, without transportation, you can't do anything. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't feel sorry for myself. I just want to do better.
Are there trucking companies that are on the bus lines where if you had a bus pass, you could get to them, or is that not a feasible option for you?
It's a very feasible option, but here's the deal. I do have a criminal record. Nothing violent. Nothing sexual, nothing like that. When I was young, I did months ago, okay, because I did have an addiction. I was running from my past, okay, so that's kind of that. But, like Tarrant County, Tarrant Area Food Bank, the places around here that you try to put in applications for, they won't hire you because, like I said, no phone, no address. But an over-the-road job, is what I can get hired on. The problem is, they're usually out of state. You know, there's no train that can get you there. You know what I'm saying? Some of the companies will hire you on, they'll pay for you to get there, but again, no phone, no company to do it. You know, so it's kind of a lose-lose situation. But something's gonna happen. I know it. Some sooner or later, I just know it. You know,
Yeah.
I never hurt anybody, never robbed anybody. Um, I think my Heavenly Father is just trying to show me that it's time to start making those stupid mistakes. It's time to just buckle down, trust in Him more. Because even though I believe I never fully gave myself to Him. Because, right, you know, people do it all the time. We make a mistake, oh God, I'm sorry, I'll never do that again. And we go right back to doing it again. Because the Bible mentions something that I'm beginning to understand. There's a deal of repentance and a deal of true repentance. And I could never understood what he meant by true repentance until I realized what the word repent means. And it means to turn. And unless you completely turn from those situations or from those choices and don't go back to them, you haven't fully repented. I'm learning. You know what I'm saying? Even out here, I'm learning. And I want to get to a situation where I can put you. Even if I was I don't need to make a lot of money. Money is not really that important to me. You know, we need it. Eat, the clothes, different things. But what's more important, helping other people. A lot of times when I have certain things, I run across people, they're homeless, they're hungry, they're homeless, like that. I give, and I give, and I give.
I was gonna say, I've seen you give your food away before.
I've done it. I've done it several times, and I still do it. But the hurting part about it is when I'm hungry, or when I have nothing, there's never nobody there for me. You understand what I'm saying? So it's okay. Like I said, balance yourself out. I have lost so much weight between all the walking I do every day, the baggage that I carry, trying to find jobs. I go down here on Lancaster, which is probably about maybe a mile and a half, every morning trying to catch out. I don't worry about eating lunch and stuff like that because I don't have the money to do it. I just need to work so I can save and have something. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times I'm exhausted. My legs cramp up, abs cramp up. I'm just, you know, but I'm content as far as being alive, knowing that something better is coming one day. You know, it's just, I've never been a patient person. I've never been patient. I want it, how they say, I want it right now. You know?
Sorry.
So this is teaching me patience. It's teaching me to wait. I guess the way the Bible says is wait on God. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that's what I was doing, but you know, that's basically what it is.
You talked about being hungry, and then earlier you talked to me about what it was like to go and ask for food. If you could you share what that's like so that people like me understand?
People would see me walking down the sidewalk with my backpack, and they would literally walk across the street, go down the sidewalk, and come back to avoid me. Other people would be like, you know, man, look, I'm hungry, can't spray anything at all. And they won't even talk to you. They won't even look at you. It's not everybody, it's the majority. And some people make you feel like you're not human. The way they look at you, the way they stare at you, like, you know, I don't know if I can explain it. It's like they put you in a box with everybody else. So they treat you like you're about it. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people out here who are strung out on drugs, cussing people out and everything else. So it makes it hard for us who are really trying to do something. And believe it or not, there's more people out here who are trying to do something positive than it is out here that are not. People are hurting. People are crying. I ran across a girl just yesterday up under this bridge, going up under 35. Not the one where everybody sees that, but this one right here going down Lancaster. And she was sitting up under by herself this time. Nowhere to go. Nothing. Didn't know anybody. Just out of there. You know what I'm saying? That hurts.
That's hurt.
Especially when it is a young lady who's in a right frame of mind and knows that she's better than this, and in a situation where it's like hopeless. Nothing I can do.
Is she the one I met? The same one I met last week that was trying to go to school because she knew it would give her a better life? Or is this somebody different?
This had to be somebody different because this one here didn't even know what the First Methodist Church is. Didn't even know what Crossroads is. Hadn't been in town long at all.
Okay.
I asked her how did she get here, and she just said a bad marriage. Sometimes you can ask situations or ask what a person's doing, and you can get a reaction where it's like, let me bag off because they don't want to go there. They don't want to talk about it, so you don't force it. Years ago, and I know people don't want to hear this, but I'm going to say it like it is. Years ago, there was a few young ladies that used to they would work in the streets. They would get beat up, they would get their money taken off on them. They would literally pay me to watch it. Okay. At the time, I really didn't think there was anything wrong with it, but I did it because it put money in my pocket and it stopped us from getting beat up and robbed. Because I think one of the worst things you can do is put your hands on one another's child. Now I look back at that and it's like I was kind of aiding them.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? It's not any type of pimping or anything. No, it's just a protection. But what happened is when I sit back and I talked to them and I heard their story, you know the amazing thing about it? Each and every one of them pretty much has the same story. Either a stepfather, an uncle, or a brother, or somebody who had molested them when they were a child and they felt worthless. And that's the way that the world makes us feel. It's like you don't have a right to have self-esteem. You don't have a right to be here, you know? I mean, my God. Everything that you see, I work and pay taxes for it. You know what I'm saying? And yet I'm not allowed to enjoy it? You see what I'm saying? I'll come up here sometimes and sit just like I'm sitting now. Or I'll go down there and look at the water. And the first thing they said, you need to stop panhandling. And I asked them, did you see me ask anybody for anything? And they was, well, that's not the point. This is the point. You're accusing me of doing something I'm not. And this is the stigma that we have.
Yeah.
You know, this is what we have. People want to make a judgment on us or put us in a category. I'm a little feisty. I won't accept it. I fight back.
The program's like where I met you on Monday. Again. And when I met you at the slab. Do those programs help or do they hurt? Or is it some of both in that they help? Well, just tell me.
This is the best thing you can get out of this program. I'm not trying to be funny.
No, I want to know because, you know, like I said, I wanted to educate people on what's the best way to help. And then the follow-up question to that is, what do we do that we think is helping that isn't?
Let's start with the church on the slab. There's no help there. On Sunday you can get a meal. I think like one day a week you can get stacked on for 2 days a week. The person, I can't remember her name, they just call her pastor. And the person that she's got working with her, they usually bring people in there some type of program, right? But it's only females. And there's a guy that runs the place up under her. You see where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm.
There's no help there.
Yeah.
Help is where you can get out, okay, like Broadway. Years ago when Miss Dunn was at Broadway, I used to actually work over there.
Mm-hmm.
You made a little money, they helped you out. But since she's left, and the pastor that was there with her left, they won't even let you come in to cool off, to relax, to do anything. You know what I'm saying? You go tell them you're hungry, they give you a bag with a sandwich and chips or whatever. This doesn't get it all day. It doesn't. It doesn't. You know what I'm saying? There is no nourishment. There are no vegetables. There are no. You see people. Well, this is gonna sound bad. You see people getting more nourishment out of trash cans than they are. You know what I'm saying? And it's bad. I guess the best way you can help people out here for those that want it, because everybody don't want it, is find a way to create jobs so we can have build some self-esteem back. You know what I'm saying? A place where we can relax, sleep, where no one is walking around you all night looking at your stuff and waking you up, and you know, just. Hard. It's hard. I could never give you a picture.
So a place you could be safe.
There's a lot of people out here that are not. A lot of people out here that are not safe. I mean, children. Matter of fact, one night, when you're not doing nothing,
Mm-hmm.
or if you ever out, ride by Broadway back to church. That back driveway, back parking lot, and see the families. And I'm talking about kids and all. That are sleeping on the grass. That are sleeping in the cars. The babies are crying and don't have food to eat. Where is the money going? And please don't get me wrong. Where's it going? They say that, well, it's supposed to be going for housing and this and that. We're still out here. And then when you give us housing, you put us way out here in white settlement. Or you take us way out here to hurt us. We don't have money. How are we going to ride the bus? How are we going to feed ourselves? What? It's like everything is being done, working against us. But the finger still being pointed at us is your fault. Put me in a situation where I got to have a chance. I mean, no one owes me nothing. No one owes me anything.
But give you a chance.
Huh?
But give you a chance.
That's it. That's it. I have a guy I met down here. He usually comes through about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. Because sometimes I'll sleep in here. It gets so bad, man. Some things go on in here. It's just like I can't do it. But he's got a friend. He got a barbecue place. So I know on the 8th and the 9th of next month, I'll have a job for a couple of days. Now, that may be my leg up. Because if I can go in there and show them that I'm capable and willing to learn, it may be something for me. And that's what I mean. Just an opportunity. I'm a quick learner. There's not a whole bunch I haven't done. You know what I'm saying? So the opportunity is all you want. Not with a negative mentality, but with a mentality of trying to see. You know what I'm saying? That's something we don't always do. I know it sounds bad, like I'm crying and complaining, but
No, I asked you for honesty.
I mean, and I told you, I'm open book.
Yeah, you did.
When I was in high school, middle school, I played football. I was one of the best running backs in the world. Okay, I had a chance to get a scholarship to go to college, but I had no family support. My mother wouldn't even come to any of my games. My mother and father separated when I was born. And it's like my brother and sister went to college. But then and my mother felt like I was so dense because I couldn't read anything. There was never any time or anything spent on me. So everything that I know and everything I learned, I've had to learn out here. Um, I believe God taught me how to read, write, and since then He's been teaching me everything. By being in the penitentiary, I was able to sit back and read about history, biblical history, black history, world history, white, the whole 9 yards. And some of that stuff will really make you hate people. But then you have to realize something. Everybody writes from their own point of view. So you can't believe everything everybody says. So
That's one of the reasons it was so important for me to hear your story from your mouth.
Right.
Because I could write everything you say, but it's my point of view.
Exactly.
And I want it to be yours. I want to know when I'm trying to educate people what the reality for you is and others like you. And I know that you participate in some of the church programs, and I'm wondering which ones help and which ones don't.
Another reason for this. Very few of them work. And understand what that reason is. Please understand. Because you got so many people playing games with them, so they get fed up with it. And they are so bombarded where they end up spending money on the wrong people. So by the time the right person comes in there, I'm sorry, we're out of funds. You see what I'm saying? I believe true worth. You know, I believe that they have all the resources personally used. But the atmosphere itself will just turn you away. You will go in there and literally have to fight. Literally have to fight just to sit down in the chair. You know what I'm saying? No, I think my best opportunities have come out here. You know, I've seen people pass by. Hey, what kind of work you do? Matter of fact, a guy named Brandon owns his own fence company. And he was a Muslim, great guy. Taught me a lot about the Muslim faith. He taught me how close the Muslim faith is to the Christian faith. The only difference is they don't believe that the Messiah was from the Son of God. But he put me to work. I worked with him for about 3 months. And then he moved his company to Houston. You know
Couldn't get there.
Exactly. So, I mean, yeah, programs work. They're just used for the wrong people. And I don't know if that's my opinion. I don't know if that's by design or choice. You understand what I'm saying?
Never thought about that.
Yeah, I don't.
Design or choice.
Exactly. I really don't know which one. Because it's like everybody,
just for your opinion, do our, I don't know how to say this, do our preconceived biases affect the decisions that are made and who to help and who not to help?
9 times out of 10, they really don't. Because the people that they really, really want to help, the ones that they really, really feel sorry for, are the ones that don't want to help. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You got so many people on medication, they can't live. They can't do anything. Yet we steady giving them the resources. But here they are. They get checks coming in every month. 800, 900, 1,600 a month. Been doing this for years. How you doing today? Been doing this for years. And they have nothing to show for it. No transportation, no house, He'll run around with a backpack like mine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This opportunity. This. I'm not down in the places. I know they can only do so much. Please don't get me wrong. Human error is everywhere. We're not perfect, none of us. And a lot of people who really have good heart, 'cause I've met some good people. In some of these programs that cut here, I really met some good people. But in the long run, it always comes back to my hands are tied. They won't let me do this. They won't let me do that. They're like the same situation I was telling you about earlier when you first got here about the 5 minute deal.
Yeah. Do you want to tell that story?
Well, I'd be happy to, but it's still in my feelings. Went to First Methodist Mission on First Street to get a sack on. There were 5 people ahead of me. So I waited patiently for about 45 minutes. 5 people, 45 minutes. So when they came out, I went in. Like I said, I went to clean up. Somebody knocked on the door. I was in there about 3 minutes. And he said, man, you got people out here waiting on you. I said, man, I just got in here. So I went on and cut my first door. It came out. I said, who knocked on the door? They said, well, you got people out here waiting. I said, man, I've only been in there 3 minutes. He said, well, there's a 5 minute time limit. I said, okay, is it posted? He's like, well, we don't have to post it. I said, well, if it's not posted, how are people supposed to? He said, because I say so. Now, this is not a guy that runs the place. This is just a guy that gets on the computer and give out seconds. I said, okay. So I went and sat at the table and I watched. 3 people went in. Not one single time did he tell them they had 5 minutes. Each one of them was in there for over 16 years. And I made it a word to him saying, did you tell them 5 minutes? Did you say? Then the security guard comes around the corner and want to get mad at me. I didn't care about that either because I let him know I haven't did anything wrong. If you got a problem, you would get the supervisor. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of stuff that we go through.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to tell me that, well, you know, he's an older guy, he's hard of hearing. I'm sorry. But that's no reason to jump on me. And I'll be honest about it. I please hope you don't take this the wrong way. But every person that he went off on was a black person. I'm not racist. Don't ever think I am. I just call it like I see it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a woman in there, African American, who was trying to get some help from him. And every time he called it, hey, come here. Well, you ever in the First Methodist, you know the place is not that deep.
No.
Why are you screaming and hollering at? But if there's anybody else, you go to him and say, hey, come over here and talk. You understand? So what am I supposed to think?
Apparently 30 minutes is as long as you can go.
I'm sorry.
No. See if he'll go again. There it goes.
I'm sorry.
No. I don't know why it stopped.
That's the only, so much hate in the world, you know?
Yeah.
So we go through stuff like that all the time.
Do I know the sack lunches work. Do the places like Monday night where you can come in and sit down and cool off and get a meal?
The only place around here on Monday night you can get a meal is where you work at.
Yeah.
Nobody gives out sack lunches on Monday.
Oh.
Even the Taste restaurant
Uh-huh.
are closed on Monday. So you have to go down on Lancaster.
Mm-hmm.
No one wants to go down there. So that's when you have to ask somebody for help. Because there's nowhere to go. Oh, I'm lying. I'm sorry. Crossroads.
Yeah.
Crossroads has a pretty decent breakfast and stuff like that. But everybody's there. And if you're not fighting to be the first one in line, you're stuck out. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
First Methodist, Broadway, Crossroads, Southside Church. You got all these places, but nobody's open on Mondays. Except for y'all.
For us. Wow.
Yeah, it's And it's not even y'all's responsibility to have to do this for you. That's just the love of God for y'all. Y'all don't have to do this, you know. So
We do it because we care.
that's what I'm saying. I know y'all do. I know because if you didn't, you wouldn't do it, you know. And it means so much. to So many people. That's why I get upset when people come in there and act stupid for no reason at all. Oh, it upsets me. It really upsets
Right?
me.
Yeah.
And I have no problem with watching my people do that face. You know what I'm saying? And yes, I've had to get off into a fight once or twice behind it. And that's okay because if you're not willing to fight for what you believe in, then do you really believe in it?
Hmm.
And it doesn't always have to be a fist fight. Please don't get me wrong.
No, Monday night you told the young kid, set the mustard up. Just don't sling it on the table.
That's the kind of person I am. Respect the next person.
Yeah.
They have Sunday. Going over to the Presbyterian church, they have a wonderful Presbyterian Sunday. Oh man,
Hmm.
it's absolutely wonderful. And this guy, there's a young black girl and a young white girl. I don't know if they live together, they're just close friends or rough, but you know they're close. And this black guy just goes over there and talks about the white girl like she's trash. So, me being a sneaky person that I am, I go and tell her, I said, look, I said, you need to put him in his place. Because I knew she was crazy. I said, you need to check him and let him know he needs to leave you alone. She said, but I said, listen to what I'm telling you. Let him know how you feel. I got you back. So I ate and I left and I went across the street. They couldn't see me. But when they came out, he was right there. And when she looked across the street and saw me, I mean, I wish you could see it. It's like a light went off in her face, and boy, did she turn red and she went off. And he left her alone. He left her alone.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's what you got to do because I promise you, you just put a hand on her. She's very real close.
Yeah.
But that wasn't going to happen. I wasn't going to let that happen. So, you know, it's stuff like that. We have to look out for each other out here, but people won't do it. There's no resources in the world that can protect you from some of the stuff that goes on around. There's not.
What are some things that churches do thinking they're helping but actually hurt?
Try to govern us.
Pardon?
Try to govern us.
Uh,
Try to tell us how we should act, what we should be like, as if we don't know. I'm 61 years old. I'll be 62 at the end of this year. Why are you talking to me like I'm a child? You know, the church program, you want to go in and have service, that's fine. But I don't always believe in what you're saying. And if I don't, and I make you aware of that, then I got to be talked to crazy because I don't agree with it. It's not biblical. Or, I don't know, it's so much stuff. You go into a service, you don't have a suit and tie. You have what you got. And you feel so unwelcome. Matter of fact, I told you, I don't know if it was you, I told you somebody else. A couple of weeks ago, Kenneth Copeland was over here. And there was a lady that came across the street, she stopped, and looked at me, she said, you need to go register to go in there. I know Kenneth Copeland, I read a lot of him, glorious books and things. I said, okay. But I like to clean up first, you know, my clothes are there. No, you need to go in there right. So I'm thinking, okay, well, you're going to be beside me, so if people are looking at me crazy, I'm going to look at you. You know what I'm saying? But no, she was an usher at the door. So when I register and go in here, I look around, I'm sitting here by myself. And these people are looking at me with their nose stuck up. I mean, it was bad. One thing I learned about biblical history, the Bible is so correct when it says that that's a new one. Back in biblical times, in order for you to understand your standing with God, it depended on how much wealth you had. And I think you agree with me on that. All your Pharisees, Sadducees, even Not everybody. Not every please believe me. I'm not talking about Christians in general. I'm just talking about the mentality. Because how can I come as I am if you won't accept me, or if you make me feel like an outcast? Every church is not like that. There are some good churches out there. They're smaller churches. They can't really afford to give the service that we really need.
Hmm.
But they do try to help. Not as far as just the money. Cutting yards, trimming trees. You know, they try to do something. You can't complain about that because if you really want to make it out here, you're going to take whatever job comes your way. As they said, as they used to say in the older days, the only thing I turn down is my collar. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if it's a job opportunity, I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to take that money and I'm going to try to put it back and hold on to it as long as I can. You know, let me ask you a question. How long will it take you to spend $20?
About 30 seconds, depending on how what my gas gauge on my car looks like.
I have gotten to the point I can make $20 last week, 2.5 to 3 days.
Wow, I'm impressed. Can I take budgeting lessons from you?
Yeah, it's called Slim Fast Diet. But I mean, you do. Don't get me wrong. The nourishment and the protein's not there. That's why I try to drink a lot of Gatorade. Try to get a lot of vitamin water. You know, to make up for the supplements my body's not getting. To try to get the electrolytes in because you can't get cold water anywhere around here unless you get water churches. I'm blessed. I got these guys here. That's somebody asked, hey man, you use some ice? I got a couple of clubs down the street where I go down there at about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and they got a deal like this, and I sit there and watch the TV because I love sports. I watch the Olympics, I watch the rugby, you know what I'm saying? And they got to the point they got so used to me, like, hey man, you want a beer? I don't drink. Can I get you something? Oh. Hey, you want some ice? Sure. You know what I'm saying? So
And people like that make you feel like you matter.
they don't. Not all of them. There's a few, but the majority of them, they are very understandable.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how many of them had almost been in the same situation I was in.
They give you the people like that. They give you your humanity back.
They do. Because they will actually do just like you. Some of them will actually come and sit right down and talk to you like I'm a human being. Not judging you, not telling you what I should do, and all this other stuff. They treat you like I'm a human being. Yeah, they've had a few drinks, but they're not drunk.
Mm-hmm.
They understand. So, and what really gets them is when they look at me and they ask, hey, you want a beer? I don't drink. That blows their mind because they're like, how can you be out here on the streets and not drink? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like...
You just blew their preconceived notion right out of the water.
If that's why then...
Well, any last parting words you'd like to share with us?
Yeah. If you want to help us, come out and find out who we are. Not as a collective, but as an individual.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't help everybody. But there are people out here like myself who are crying for help. Not just the money, but the opportunity to make the money for themselves or to help somebody. Because I've come to realize that helping other people sometimes will satisfy me. You know?
You're gonna make me cry, Tony.
It does. It builds character, and besides, that's what the Father said when and I'm gonna make this real short. When the apostle said, "Sir, all these people here, shouldn't you send them home so they can get something to eat?" And his words were, "No, you feed them. You feed them." And he made a way for them. And that's exactly. We are all vessels of our living Father. And if we are not going to be used as a vessel, then what good are we for him? How can we serve him we are all just we have to carry ourselves like that. No matter the situation, no matter the environment, whatever, we have to stay who we are, just for God. Now, if you tell me it's a sin for me to get mad, I'm going to say, well, if that's the case, why did the Messiah knock over them tables?
And I'm going to agree with you.
Exactly.